Good day, everyone. So, today we shall be diving into the wonderful world of circles. All right? Circles are very fundamental in playing figures. They are one of the fundamental playing figures that we have in mathematics and basic technology. So, we shall be diving into this. So, without much ado, let's dive in. Okay, first of all, let's define what a circle is. A circle, as you could see here, is a plane figure bounded by a curved line called the circumference. So this is it. So this curved line, as you're seeing here, is what we refer to as the circumference, and that's what makes up a circle. Okay, the circumference, the curved lines that come together to what make up a circle. Okay, and all the points on the circumference are equidistant from the center. So each of the points on the circumference are equidistant, right? Now, what do we mean by that? And let's pick a point on the circumference. Let's pick maybe, okay, sorry. Let's pick a point here. Let's pick a point. Let's pick a point here. Okay, that is a point in the circle, but on the circumference, this point here, okay, another another point here. So each of the points are equidistant from the center. All right, let's use another color. Okay, so each of these points on the circumference are equidistant from the center of the circle. That won't make what makes a circle. Each of the points on the circumference are equidistant from the center of the circle. All right. So I won't say that. Let's now let's look at some of the components of a circle. Firstly, a circle has what we call a diameter. Okay, a diameter. A diameter simply is a straight line through the center of the circle. Look at it here. So the straight line, okay, through the center of the circle from here down to the other part of the circumference is what we refer to as a diameter. A straight line to the center, meeting the circumference at both ends. From the center of the circle, it means the circumference from one end to the other end. That's one of the components of a circle. Another component of a circle is the radius. A radius of a circle is a straight line as well, but in this case, from the center to any point on the circumference. Okay, so this is a radius here. The radius starts from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference. However, a diameter starts from the center to any part of the circumference and to the other end of the circumference. So while the diameters meet the both ends of the circumference, a radius meets only one end of the circumference from the center. That's the difference between them. So we can say that the radius is half of a diameter, okay? Because they are both straight line. This straight line is half of the diameter straight line. Another component of a circle is the segment. The segment is an area bounded by an arc and a chord. Okay, this is a segment here. So you can see it is bounded by an arc. This arc is the curve here. All right. So this curve, let me indicate the curve. The curve here is what we refer to as the arc around this side here, this part here. That's the arc. Okay. So it's bounded by an arc and a chord. The chord is a straight line from one circumference to the other circumference. A chord is just like a diameter, it's just that a chord is not starting from the center. Unlike a diameter that starts from the center, a diameter starts from the center, okay, of the circumference to any part of the chord, or to any part of the circumference. A diameter starts from the center to any part of the circumference. Meanwhile, a chord do not start from the center. So a segment is a region bounded by a chord, the straight line, and an arc. All right. And lastly, we have the chord. Like I said earlier, a chord is a straight line joining any 2 points on the circumference. So the difference between a chord and a diameter is from the middle of the circle down to any part of the circumference, but a chord do not pass through the middle. Once a chord passes through the middle of a circle to any part of the circumference, it becomes a diameter. All right. So those are the major components of circle that we have. However, we have other components of the circle that also play major role. And number one is the sector. A sector. A sector is a part of the circle bounded by two radii and an arc. All right. So let me take off this main thing. Let's take off this. Let's take off this. Take off this. All right. Now, a sector, like we said before, is a part of the circle bounded by two radii and an arc. So this is a sector here. It has two radii. This one radius is another radius and an arc. Okay. So this one make up a sector. Okay. So let's trade that out. So this is one of the radii. Okay. This one of the radii here. This one of the radii. This part. Okay. One of the then followed by the other part. So pardon my straight line. So let me show it again. So we have it to be, it shows like this. This is one of it. Then this one of the radii is another one. And then this is the arc. So a sector is a region, this region here, bounded by an arc and two radii, this and this. All right. Then we have another part of a circle or component of a circle that is called a quadrant. A quadrant, okay, of a circle is a region bounded by two radii as well, okay, and an arc. So a quadrant and a sector are similar. The only difference is that the angle between the two radii in a quadrant is 90 degrees. Yeah, the angle here is 90 degrees for a quadrant. This is a quadrant. But for a sector, the angle there is lesser or greater than 90 degrees. All right, so that's the difference between a quadrant and a sector. A sector is a region bounded by two radii and an arc, but the angle between the radii is 90 degrees. However, for a sector, the angle between the two radii is lesser than or greater than 90 degrees. And lastly, we have what we call a tangent. Okay, a tangent is a straight line touching the circle at one point, perpendicular to a radius at that point. Okay, so this is a tangent. So it's a line, a straight line that touches the edge. Okay, touching the edge of a circle, and then it is perpendicular. When we say perpendicular, at 90 degrees to the radius of the circle. It is the radius of the circle now. We see that I've drawn it now, so it's at 90 degrees to the radius of a circle. So these are the major components or part of a circle that we need to know. Okay, so having said that, let's now see how to draw a circle when we have a given radius. How do you draw a circle when you have a given radius? For example, if you are given a radius of 5 centimeters, how do you draw such a circle? So first of all, you get your ruler and you measure your 5 centimeter radius with your ruler. Okay, let's mix it of color white. Okay, so before that, let me place my ruler in a way that my circle can contain in the diagram. So this is my ruler, and we are giving, for example, a radius of 5 centimeters. So let's draw our radius of 5 centimeters. Okay, so this is 5. This is 5 now. Let's do it again. Starting from the 0 centimeter. So this is 5, a radius of 5 centimeter. So having done that, then you can take away your ruler. You take your ruler away, and then you pick up your compass. Pick up your compass. Okay. You pick your compass and then extend the compass to that length of 5 centimeter. Okay. Today is it. Okay, I've extended it now. Let me reduce the thickness. So the compass is now having a radius of 5 centimeter using the line here. So all I need to do is to place the tip of my compass at one end of the line, and then I'll swing my compass to draw my circle. Okay, and this is it. As you could see here, so this is exactly a circle with 5 centimeter radius. That's how to draw circle with 5 centimeter radius. Okay. So in another case, we can be given another scenario. We can be given another scenario whereby we will be asked to draw a circle giving 3 non-collinear points. These are the points. They are called non-collinear points because the points are not on a straight line. So in a situation where you are given this kind of thing, condition, okay, I'm coming. So the situation where you are given this kind of condition, you have 3 points here. This is 1 point, this is another point, and then the third point. They are not on a straight line, and you have to draw a circle with them. So what do? Very simple. All right. What you need to do first is to get your ruler. Okay, in our case, I will not use a ruler, but I will use a straight line because it's computer here. To get a ruler, I join each of the points together. So join this first point to the other point. Okay, with your ruler. Okay, that's it. After that, then from this point, the same point here, join it with your ruler. Join it with the third point here. So that's the first thing you need to do. So the second stage now, remember we want to draw a circle using these 3 points. Second stage now is to now bisect these 2 lines. When we say bisect, that means you want to divide these 2 lines. You want to divide this line, each of them into 2 equal parts. So the first line, we are bisecting them perpendicularly. That means you are bisecting them at angle 90 degrees into 2 equal parts. How do you bisect a line? Very simple. You get your compass. You get your compass and place your compass for the first line now. You place it at the tip of that first line. When you do that, then you make sure that the length of your compass is more than half of that line. Okay. And then you raise it up a little. You rotate it a little above that line, like this. Having done that, then you make what we call arc. You make an arc, that's a curve. Make an arc like this. Having done that, then you swing down your compass again below that line, and you make an arc also. You make an arc downward, okay, as you can see. Having done that, then you move your compass to the other end of the line, this way. You see it here. Move to the other end of the line. Rotate your compass to the other side of the arc you have made, and make another arc that will intersect the first arc. Okay, so you make another arc that will intersect like this. Then you swing it down again to the other side of the arc, and make another arc again that will intersect the second arc here. That's the second stage. Third stage is to now reduce your, okay, before you do that, you can rotate your compass. You can take your compass away. Now these 2 points, this point here and this point here, you join them together with your ruler. Okay. Let me get a ruler. Now this time I'm using a straight line because this is easier for me with the computer now. But you need to use a ruler to draw your own straight line on the paper. So you join this point. You join this point of intersection here with this other point of intersection. As you could see, that's first stage to have succeeded in bisecting this line into two equal parts. Now the second stage is to bisect the second line into two equal parts. So the same procedure you did for the first one, you also apply. So here too, you pick up your compass. Let me clean this. Let me erase some of these things here. Let me erase this that we are not using. Okay, now the next thing is to pick your compass. Pick your compass again. Your compass is already at the tip of the second line now. So you rotate your compass close. Now you can see that the compass is more than that line. So you reduce it to almost more than half of that line. Okay, it should not be below the half, but more than half of this line. Having done that, then you can now swing it a little up and then make an arc. So you make an arc this way. All right. Having done that, swing your protractor again. I mean your compass again above that line and make another arc like this. As you can see. Now you take the compass again to the other end of that line. Okay, and then swing it in a way that we intersect the first arc you make. Now you can now make an arc here to intersect this first arc you made. Okay, then still swing it. You're still swinging it to the other side. So you swing it to the other side so that you can make another arc and intersect this arc here. To intersect this arc here. You haven't done that. You can now take away your compass and then join the 2 points that you have made, this point here and this other point here. You join them together to show that you have bisected that line. So I'm using a straight line because it's already programmed, but you can now use your ruler, join this point with this other point here. So having done that, I have succeeded in bisecting this line to two parts too. So this is half of the line, this is the other half of the line. Now the point where the bisector is the straight line like dividing there. So this is the bisector of this second line. Why did the bisector of the first line? So the point where the two bisector meet, that will be, you can see that this line here meets with this other line at this point. Okay, at this point here. So let me indicate that point. Let me indicate that point so we could see it here. So you could see, let me indicate. So this point, that's where they meet. Are you seeing it now? Well, maybe we could use a red color for visibility. So let's indicate it again. We see it. So this point is where the bisector of the second line meets with the bisector of the first line. The bisector are the line that separated the two lines to equal part. So having located that point, then you get your compass. You get your compass now and place the tip of your compass, the center of your compass. You place it there. Let me bring my compass in now. You place it at that point, and then you adjust your compass to the point that it will touch one of the points. No, we have given 3 points to do this circle. No collinear point. This is the point. This is the first point. This is the second point. This is the third point. Now you extend your compass to that point until it touches it. Remember that your compass is at the center of your compass is at the point where the bisector meet. Now the pencil part of your compass is where you now adjust to touch any of those points. And after you have adjusted it, then you can now swing your compass around, and you could see that I've used the 3 point non-collinear point to draw a circle. And I hope this is very, very clear. This is how to go about it. All right, very, very straight way of um, drawing a point. All right. So I won't say that. Let's now talk about let's talk about how we can also draw series of circle, okay, on converging lines. Series of circles, touching circles on converging lines. How do you do that? Very simple too. All you need to do is, first of all, by the converging lines are two lines, okay, that are meeting. You can see this line. Let's clean up this. Let's take out this part so we don't get confused. Right now, the converging lines are these two straight lines that are meeting. When we say converging, that means they are meeting. They meet at a point. How do you now do series of circles that are touching themselves on this converging line? So the first stage is to bisect the angle that is being formed by this converging line. And how do you do it? Your compass still play a major role. So you get your compass and place it at the angle, the center of your compass, place at the angle of your converging line. And then after that, you will take your compass, you rotate it, and then make an arc. You make an arc this way. You could see here. Having made an arc, then you move your compass to the other end where there is intersection. You swing it a little. You swing it a little to this almost to the center. Okay. Then you make an arc like this. You make an arc this way. Then you adjust it again to the other side. Okay, without reducing the radius of the compass. And then you make another arc that will intersect the first arc you have made. Okay. You so we make another arc that will intersect this. So having done that, you can now take away your compass and then get your ruler and join this point of intersection with the other point where the lines meet. Okay. With that, you have succeeded in bisecting the angle. So this is the first stage. Okay. So that's the first stage that you need to observe. So having done that now, the next thing you need to do is to pick up your compass again. The compass play a major role in this construction work. So you pick up compass and place it at this bisector. The bisector is the line that is dividing this angle into two equal parts. So you place at the bisector and adjust the radius of your compass to the point that it will touch. You rotate it like this, then you adjust the radius so that it will touch just the edge of of your converging line, one of the edge. So you adjust it in a little. So when you swing it, it will only touch the edge. Okay, so having done that, I can now swing. I will swing it. I can now swing it like this. Okay. Now this is not enough. I will still have to adjust until it touches both the edge of the first converging line and the second edge. But time will not permit us to keep doing that. So that's the first thing you will do. So having done that, then now the next thing for you to do is now to draw another bisector with another bisector that will be a tangent to this line. You know, we talk about a tangent, that is a line that touches a circle. So you draw a tangent with your protractor, with your set square. So you get a set square. So you get a set square, adjust it on that bisector. Okay, you do that, and then you get your pencil and draw. Okay, before you do that, so you make sure that your set square is well set on the edge of the circle and also lying down and also lying on parallel to the bisector. Then you can now get your pencil and then draw your tangent. You see, like I haven't done that. Can now take away this, take away your set square. Okay, And then having done that, now the point where this tangent, okay, is meeting the second line here or the first line, that's an angle. You also bisect this angle. So this angle here, you bisect it by getting your your compass again. So you get your compass again. You pick up your compass again. Okay, so a lot of construction is ongoing here. So and play the tip there. You play the tip there. Okay, play the tip. Okay, and then you swing the compass. You swing it to one end so that you can make a complete arc, and then you can now draw your arc from the tangent down to the other converging line. Okay, then you move again your compass to the other end, swing it almost close to the middle of the angle, and you make an arc like this. Okay, take it again, move it again to the other end here. Remember, we are bisecting that angle. Okay, swing it, and then make an arc to intersect the first one. As you can see, then you can now take away your compass. And take away your compass and join that point of intersection with this angle here. So you get your ruler and join this point of intersection here with the angle that we have here. Okay. Now the point where this bisector, that line that we use to divide is called bisector. The point where it crosses this first bisector, you locate it and you indicate that point. Let's indicate that point with a white color. So this is it here. But from there again, you get your compass and place your compass there. You place your compass there. Okay. You bring it there again, the center of the compass, and you adjust your compass to a point whereby you can now rotate it again. Now my own is touching, my own is not touching the edge, it's crossing it. So you have to adjust your compass until it touches just the edge of the first circle. And that's how you keep repeating it until you have series of touching circles on converging lines. They are not supposed to overlap, they're supposed to touch themselves. But because it's computer work, it will take our whole day to do that. But on the paper, on the physical practical, you will be able to achieve that perfectly. All right. So this is a procedure you take in doing series of circles on converging lines. All right. So another thing we need to see here is finding the center of an existing circle. How do you find the center of an existing circle? It's very important. How do you find the center of an existing circle? Now, this is an existing circle. Now, you want to find the center. What do you do? What do you do? Very simple too. It's a very simple step. Let's see how to go about that. Let's see how to go about that. Okay, so let's take away this. Let's take away this. We've done this. So we've done this as well. Now, when you are given an existing circle, how do you find the center? Okay, this is the last work we need to get now. So let's clear this sketch work. Okay. Now, if you are given a circle and you want to find the center, the first thing you need to do is to draw a chord, just two chords at any part of the circle. So this is one chord here, then the other chord too. But make sure the starting point of the second chord should be at the other end of the first chord. So you do another chord here. So I haven't done that now. You now bisect each of these chords. When we talk about bisector now, we already know how to bisect. When you bisect, that means you are dividing into two equal parts. So let's say you have bisected and this is the bisector. okay, for the first line, and this is the bisector of the second line. This second line here, you are bisecting it. Now the point where the two bisectors meet, that is the center of the circle. From there, you place your compass there and you swing to draw your circle. So I will leave that to you to practicalize and see if that will be achievable. All right. So these steps are very, very simple in drawing circles. All right. Now circles are applicable in almost all aspects of life. Some of our workflows are made up of are in form of the circle shape. The steering wheel of vehicles are in form of circle shape. Some of our buttons that we use at home on our clothes are in form of circle shape. The wheel of our vehicles are in form of circle shape. Even the movement of the orbit of the planets, sorry, the movement of the planet rather on their orbit are also in a circular manner. So circular shape are fundamental in nature and in engineering. All right. So we need to master our circular geometry so that we can appreciate the application in the world of architecture and engineering. All right. So this is where we shall be drawing our curtain. Thank you for watching and bye for now.